And Fred, you've been in Syria a couple days now trying to learn more about whether or not these chemical weapons were used there. What are you seeing today there in Syria?
Hi, Ivan. I'm actually right on the edge of the Jobar district, which is, of course, exactly the place where the Syrian government says that rebel forces use gas today on its soldiers. And I've encountered something that I actually never have encountered before since I've been in Syria, is that the Syrian military has actually made a soldier available to us to talk, who said that he was subject to this alleged chemical attack. He didn't seem to have any trouble breathing or anything as I talked to him, but he did say that earlier today they had been involved in a military operation inside the Jobar district, which is a rebel-held district quite central in Damascus. And he said that all of a sudden the soldiers got burning sensations in their eyes and in their throat, that they had difficulty breathing, and that, in fact, a lot of soldiers had to be evacuated with ambulances. Now, I was not able to see any of these soldiers who had been evacuated earlier, and they're allegedly brought to a military hospital. But that's what the military is telling us at this point in time. Syrian state TV is also showing images of alleged chemical weapons that they say were found in a rebel hideout. Now, of course, the timing all of this seems to be quite awkward because it comes just a day and a half after these big claims were made against the Syrian government, with the rebels saying that there had been a big chemical attack in the outskirts of Damascus. It is impossible to independently verify any of what we're seeing and hearing from both sides, as they both trade off these accounts. Certainly, the UN weapons inspectors would be the only ones who could possibly shed light on what is exactly going on. But again, this time it's the government claiming that the rebels used some form of chemical inside the Jobar district, which has been in rebel hands for quite some time, I believe.
And Fred, Brianna, I think we're looking at video from Syrian state TV of what are alleged to be perhaps some of these chemical weapons, certainly gas masks there, being shown on Syrian state TV. And I'm struck, you're saying that, after days of this international debate and this enormous death toll, that we're hearing for the first time, really, that Syrian government forces may have been affected by this alleged chemical gas attack.
Yeah, absolutely. The Syrian government has, in the past couple of days, actually been fairly mute on this subject. They did seem to see that the stakes were pretty high at this point in time. Actually, an ambulance is going past here because there is quite a big battle also going on in Jobar. We're also hearing quite a bit of artillery. But the Syrian government has been fairly mute over the past couple of days. However, in the beginning, they did issue statements saying that chemical use by their forces or something that was purely fabricated, and now they're sort of going to a different line where they're saying that chemical agents were used against their soldiers earlier today. Some of the guys that I talked to on the ground, some of the Syrian soldiers, said that they had been subjected to some form of chemicals 2 months ago as well. That's what they were telling me. It's impossible to independently verify at this point in time, but it seems as though the Syrian government now is going forward, is becoming more forceful, and is actually coming out and laying out claims of their own. Of course, at the same time, we have to keep in mind that there are chemical weapons inspectors who are in a hotel not very far from where I am right now, who are not able to go to any of these places. And the international community, and the U.S. especially, are urging Syria to let these chemical weapons inspectors do their work. The UN themselves are saying that time is of the essence, because it is the first couple of days and hours where any of these claims can be verified, where samples can be taken, and where some sort of picture of what actually happened might be reconstructed, Ivan.